Okay, so we're back with another project this week. And this week I got a special guest. Goes by the name of Amy. We're calling her air quote Amy this time because Amy is not her real name. But we're going to call her Amy because that's what she told me to call her.
Yeah.
So say hi, Amy.
Hello.
What Amy and I did is we made a abstract painting this week. And we're calling this project a pure abstract project, where we're not trying to make a picture of anything like a tree or a face or anything anymore. We just kind of started with blank canvases and let them go wherever they want.
Technically, I went blank.
Well, we painted over some canvases and then restarted. But this is how they turned out. So, what do you think, Amy?
I like them. I
Yeah.
like yours.
Well, I like yours.
But I like yours.
But I like yours.
But I like yours.
Okay. Well, they're very different. I mean, yours is very kind of, it definitely has two sides to it. There's a top and a bottom side. And mine is kind of all meshed together.
Yeah.
You know, you may not know this, but yours is very Tebow. It's
I don't even know what that means.
Well, there's a guy named Wayne Tebow, and he was a famous painter. He may still be alive, but he made famous paintings of cakes.
Ooh.
And like dessert, and yours looks very Tebow-esque. And
Yeah.
mine looks like a mishmash between de Kooning and Diebenkorn.
When I did mine, I was thinking of cake and frosting.
Cake and frosting, really?
And cookies. That's why I did the circles.
Oh, well, that's interesting that they ended up looking kind of like oranges
Yeah, I know, with dots.
with dots. So we're gonna switch now to a time lapse of us making these paintings. So we just put down our backdrop as a what do they call it? It's like a drop cloth for catching paint, and we took a couple of old canvases that Amy had painted when she was 3 or so, and Amy, we painted over them, so you can still see some of the old painting underneath, but it was wide enough to start going over.
Yeah.
Now we know that not everybody has paint for these projects, so we started off with pencil and went pretty far into them with just pencil, just to show you that you could actually go. You could do the whole drawing in pencil. And at the end of this, we've changed our paintings to black and white, just so you could see what it might look like if you had drawn it in just pencil. So if you only have a pencil or a pen, then it's fine too.
I used the paint and the water cup to do my circles.
The paint in the water cup. Yeah, you can see we're tracing some circles there and not using compasses or anything, but just some different bottles and stuff. I don't know, did you like drawing it with the pencil?
Yeah.
I really like drawing in pencil, especially if you're going to do acrylic paint over the top like we planned from the beginning. Because the pencil, if you put enough water on it, it can kind of come up and it muddies the colors a little bit, I think, and turns them down so they're not too crazy. The pencil in yours became really important.
Yeah.
Because it's the outline of each of these, I don't know, what are these, characters?
I don't know, when I was thinking of it, I looked at yours and I liked how you did, in the corner you had some, shapes, so I decided to do, a big frosting globby thing at the top and, shapes at the bottom.
Yeah, I think in my process I tend to make a lot of shapes, but then I disappear them again sometimes with colors, the colors next to each other, like the blues and the greens, and this one I can see. They don't stand out too much. But you have this field of snow kind of in yours at the end.
Yeah.
That these characters or these shapes stand out against.
I started doing the watercolor.
Oh yeah,
pencil.
I forgot about this. So here we're using colored pencils. So a step up from maybe just doing it in pen or pencil is you could use colored pencils or maybe Crayola markers like we've been talking about.
That's how I made my background kind of blend into each other.
Yeah. We used watercolor colored pencils, so we were able to go back in with some of the water and make this very washy, light colored painting. And that works on canvas just fine. It'll mix with any acrylic paint that you put in there too, so if you just put some other color on there that's relatively light, you'll be able to see the color come up into it, which happened to us a little bit. But I don't know, were you planning to make that mostly white down there at the bottom at this point?
No.
I can tell you that I had no idea what I was doing. Really.
I kind of had an idea, but like at first I just like knew like I wanted to do the top like slimy like drippy stuff, but I didn't really like know about the bottom. Like I thought I was gonna draw like cupcakes or something, but I like the shapes.
Yeah, they do kind of come across, not really, I can't tell like what's a piece of pie and what's a cake and what's a,
I didn't think of
piece of
pie.
candy or anything. But I gotta tell you that, it has this very sweet sort of color to it.
Yeah.
That's purple and pinks and oranges, but there's a dark side to this painting, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Especially when I look at it in the digital version at the end, it looks a little bit like these things are fighting each other. At least to me.
Well, when I look at it right now, it looks like some big, like, just, like, watercolor tie-dye thing. And I really like it. It looks like I did, like, professional watercolor or something.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, you just make a lot of decisions as you go through each one of these, and you don't really have to know where you're going. You just react.
Yeah.
You put something down, you're like, well, I like that pink. I'll put some more pink in there. Yeah. Or, I don't like that pink. Well, I'll cover it up with some more white. Or sometimes I just completely erase things that I'm doing.
Well, now I'm using my paint to do the top.
Yeah, I want to ask you about the top. So sometimes when I look at it, it looks like the top is the sky.
Yeah.
And there's stars in it.
Yeah.
And then there's like kind of a borealis effect in the back. And sometimes it looks like that's actually the front, and it's like a slime ooze that all these little things are running away from.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of coming towards them.
I was thinking of when I did it, like frosting falling onto like desserts at the bottom. But I didn't actually think of doing all the dots that I thought were sprinkles. But I just like ended up with that. And for a while I just stopped for some reason right there.
Yeah, so sometimes they look like stars and sometimes it looks like snow coming down.
Oh, I stopped because I needed to mix that kind of blue because we just had dark blue and white, so I had to mix it into a lighter blue.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting with these videos, we don't really know what we're doing when we're doing it. So a lot of times when these time lapses happen, you'll notice there are gaps and stuff, and that's probably me just mixing paint or doing something else that I didn't really plan for at that time. But yeah, and then there are colors that show up in mine that I mixed directly on the page. But I think mostly, since you can see my palette there, it's just a piece of wood. It's a big thing of kind of ultramarine blue, and there's a yellow and a green and some white. And then I think, right there, and a little bit more red. And then we started talking about...
if you mixed ketchup and mustard, that's what it would look like. And then we were talking... What were we talking about? Like McDonald's or something?
We're talking about the secret sauce of McDonald's was just Thousand Island dressing. And Thousand Island dressing isn't even a secret because it's just ranch and ketchup mixed together.
You like go to McDonald's and be like...
hey, it's delicious though.
Hey, I want this. And you're like... Oh, you can make it at home.
Oh yeah, they were using I was using some gravity to drip it down. But now you can't see the drips, really. I mean, I can still see them if I look in there.
Yeah. And then I said it could go with your drippy paint collection.
Yeah, I have a collection of drippy paints around here. Even the table looks like a drippy painting.
Actually, it looks more like
backdrop
splatter.
looks like a drippy painting. I'm surprised I'm not covered in paint most of the time. Oh, so
Yeah.
here's where you turned them orange.
Because I didn't like that it was all just like pinks and purples and blues, so I wanted to add like more like colors, I guess. Because I feel like a lot of my paintings I just do pink and purple and blue.
Well, the orange worked out really well, and it stands out.
Yeah.
And then they kind of, I don't know, the oranges just look like these big characters to me that are kind of.
Yeah. The one that
Either these triangles and these oranges are in opposition to each other, and they're fighting against each other, or they're like holding hands and dancing.
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on here.
But like when I did those like rectangle shapes, I actually tried. I thought it was red, but it turned out to be magenta.
Yeah, but what I really like about your characters down here in the bottom are these shapes is that they look shaded. You know, like this one right here looks like it's got a shadow and then a dark side.
Yeah.
Or a light side. Even though you just really quickly painted them in there, it looks more like
Yeah.
there's some light direction in there. They really do look like objects. And then over here in the snow that you can see in the video on the left side, that blue that's there kind of looks a little bit like a shadow. And like this
Yeah.
guy has a shadow. This
Yeah.
little triangle down here. So it looks like there's some light coming from the left side of your painting that's kind of casting a shadow from those characters.
I never thought about that. I guess I just kind of like shaded it and did it.
Well, what I can see is that you were trying to build contrast between the white. You were trying to bring something out of it, and
Yeah.
also break up something that my class talks about a lot is breaking up the negative space, which is just blank space in the painting or on the paper.
Yeah. Well, at first I didn't even think about the white dots because I thought it would just look good. But then when I looked at it again, I thought I could do something that was sort of like sprinkles or something. And then it just kind of looked. I did it. First, I thought of doing it on the just those orange ones, and then I saw that it might look good with the frosting.
See, I think allowing ourselves to just say this is an abstract painting, like if we had started out to say, I'm going to make a painting with a borealis in the sky and it looks like a bunch of oranges and triangles and squares dancing in the snow. Like it would have looked really different if you had like just set out to try and draw that. Or if I had looked at this and said, because I still can't see anything in mine really. If I said, I'm going to set out to paint that, I don't know how I would have even done it because it doesn't really represent anything. It's just kind of decisions minute to minute.
Yeah.
And some of those we set for ourselves. Like we decided that we would do a pencil first.
Yeah.
And then we just randomly picked colors too out of the paint bucket. So
Yeah.
we didn't really think about that too much. We just reacted to what we had.
And then I liked how the orange looks, so I decided to do the same white dots on the reddish magenta
Oh yeah.
things. And then for the rest of the shapes, I thought it would look weird if like just the circles and like rectangles had dots on them. So, but I wanted more colors, so I put the colors of like I know like my triangles were different colors, so I put like on the pink one I put purple ones, and on the purple ones I put pink ones.
Yeah.
And then on the blue ones I put magenta ones, like dots.
Yeah, so it kind of keeps the pattern, but they have a different character of each one. Each has a different kind of surface.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like, how different they turned out. Yours turned out very solid, and mine turned out very liquidy and marshy. And yeah, you can see like especially like you didn't treat the white as just white.
Yeah.
It got kind of a little bit of the color from the sky down on it, so that's why it looks like a reflection of the sky, I think.
Yeah.
And to me, mine is now looking like, I don't know, a landscape almost, or some kind of like character just like flying like a jellyfish or seaweed or coral reef or something is going on there. But watch, we'll take the color out. And so what if we had only had like black and white paint Or what if we had only had a pencil or charcoal or something to?
Mine would look very different. Like I will,
Well,
if I look at
it would
it,
look like that.
if I look at it now, like a whole new idea pops in my head. Like it doesn't look like frosting or like cupcakes or anything anymore.
No,
It
and
looks like dark and mysterious.
well, look what happened to the orange and the sky too. Is they look the same.
Yeah.
Like the oranges don't look. So that makes especially with those white dots in there, it makes them look like holes
Yeah.
instead. So yeah, if we had only had black and white, we would have done this a lot different. Like mine has a big dark spot right in the middle, but the rest of it isn't really too dark. I probably would have done a little bit more highlight.
Mhm.
Well, was it a fun project?
Yes.
Cool. Are we gonna do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was about an hour of painting and just do
Yeah.
that. Yeah, so
An
that
hour
was
straight. And it wasn't
an
that
hour
hard.
straight.
You
Yeah,
just
it was
kinda-
enjoyable. Put on some Beatles and just hung out. And then when we were done, we left and went to the beach. Social distancing, right?
Yeah.
At the beach. All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye.